Hi, it's Valentine's Day. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. I'm making seed paper hearts, and I thought that it would be a great little activity to share with folks. Some people don't like Valentine's Day, and I totally get it. It is an opportunity to reach out and make connection with people who are important to us, and people we want to keep in our lives, ways to just reach out and say hello. Connection is so important. Connection with other people is so important, and this is an opportunity to do that. So no matter what we do, this is one way to make that connection, and what better way than with nature. So we're making seed paper hearts. We're making the paper with scrap paper. So we need scrap paper, or in my case, I'm using egg cartons that were in my recycling. I need a blender. I need ways to shape the heart. So here's my heart cookie cutter, but you can also use these silicone muffin trays. And then I have a tray. So if I use my cookie cutter, I have a tray and I have a towel to help that dry. And I think that's all. Oh, and I have this, which is food dye, and I have my seeds. These are Cosmos seeds from Hawthorne Farm, very close to where I am. So I rip on my paper, I rip up the egg cartons, I put them in my blender, I put water in the blender. I maybe have this much to start with of my paper, and then I put hot water in the blender or warm water in the blender and let that really soak into the paper. If it's too dry, then I add more. I want a little bit of excess water in there so that when I turn that blender on, it's going to move through. If I turn the blender on and it's working hard, I know I need to add more water. We want it to be a nice kind of slop. And so once I've got that slop, I add my food dye to the color I want it to be. So like I said, you definitely don't have to have any initial coloring in your paper. You can always add food dye to get the color you want it to be. I mix it up again so it's that nice color, whatever I want it to be, and then I pull out the paper pulp, and now I have paper pulp, and I put it through the strainer, and I just dump it in the strainer over a sink. It's going to drip out any excess water. I'm not going to push hard. I might get any little the sloppy part out just to gently push, but we want that water to be in there to some degree. And then we're going to add our seeds. So whatever seeds you've got, you want to add those in, incorporate them into that. Right in here is fine. And you want to make sure whatever shape you have. So if I have this size, that the density of how much seeds I have, how many seeds I have, I'm going to have about 5 or 10 in this seed paper. So I mix those seeds in, and then all I do is set my cookie cutter down right on to my tray. So you can see the cookie cutters right on the tray, and then I just add the pulp right in. So I take it out of my strainer and then I plop it in. You can tell that I use my hands, and I plop it in and I make it, you can see how thick it is there. I'm not very good with knowing how thick it is, but you don't want it to fall apart. And then we're going to press it. We're going to press it so that that excess water does get soaked into the towel. And that's also so it doesn't break. So you want all the paper pulp connecting so that when it dries, that water comes out of it and it's attached to all of its itself. So I just keep doing that. I can pull that cookie cutter off. I can put it down and add pulp to the next, and then just keep going here. And however many I want, however many I need. And then with these, what I did was just add the pulp in. I maybe squeezed a little bit more out of the water out of the pulp, and I made it maybe a little bit thicker, and I put it right into here. And those are just going to dry. I'm going to put them in a warm room, or a room where it's quite dry, or there's lots of warm air. I put them very close to my fireplace so that it evaporates quickly, and that towel is going to soak up the water. And then maybe like after 4 or 5 hours, I'm going to peel them off so gently, turn them over so that they get a chance to dry on both sides. And then when I'm done, here we are. I have this beautiful homemade paper with seeds in it. I have a whole bunch of them here. They're different sizes, depending on what I used. You can see the seeds right in there. And they weren't probably wet enough for it to start germinating. So we don't have to worry about that. And then the instructions, if you have seeds that you've purchased, the instructions should be right on the back. So this says direct seed outdoors once soil has warmed up. That's all you have to do. These are Cosmos. Cosmos are really easy. You want to make sure you're using flower seeds that are really easy. I do suggest Cosmos. They're tall and they're great for cutting, and you can save the seeds. And it's just a nice little gift that you can give somebody. We're going to give these to my daughter's class with little instructions on how to take care of it or how to plant it. And some people won't use it, and that's okay, and some people will, but they're just going to take it, they're going to put it in the soil, they're going to cover it with soil, and they're going to water it. It's that easy. Okay, so I hope this is a fun little thing that you can do. It doesn't take very long, and you do need a blender, but otherwise you can be pretty creative with how you get that shape. Happy Valentine's Day.